Hello, everybody, and welcome to another week of SEC football here with the Coach's Box. Call it like we see it podcast. I am Coach Halley, and I'm going to talk a little SEC football for you. Except this week's going to be just a little different. We're going to be telling you who we think are our top 12 picks for the college playoff series. No real order, no rankings, nothing like that. Just our top 12 picks. So let me get into those. First, we're going to have our top 4 conference champions. I think it's going to be Oregon is, I think, a shoo-in from the Big Ten. Miami will take the ACC. Arizona State will top Iowa State in the Big 12. And Texas will top Georgia for the SEC. Those are my conference champion picks. Boise State, I think, is as close to a shoo-in for the rest of 5. They'll be the highest ranked one out of there. But the 7 at-larges are going to be the ones that are kind of going to be everybody's hodgepodge of who's going to be what. I think that out of the Big Ten, they're going to get 2 additional ones. So they're going to get Ohio State and Penn State. I think Ohio State is as close to Oregon as any other school in the country is. I don't really like Penn State as a team and what they've done this year, but I think they've done enough with their resume in order to get themselves in enough wins in a relatively tough Big Ten this year. I think SEC gets 2 more in Georgia and Tennessee. Again, Georgia should be in. I think that they've looked really good outside of one game against Alabama, the second half against Alabama. I think they've looked really good the rest of the year. Tennessee, I think, is a byproduct of the SEC beating up on each other and everybody else beating everybody else. And they haven't lost at the wrong time yet. So as of now, I think they're one of them that's going to get in. Iowa State's going to be the second place finisher in the Big 12, and I think they're going to get in. SMU is going to be the second place finisher in the ACC, and they're highly ranked with their resume. I think they're going to get in. And Notre Dame, who's just floating out in the middle of nowhere, gets to get in themselves. But what I think this really speaks a lot to is the fact that these conferences, these super conferences, as they're getting bigger, they're beating up on each other. Some teams are going to have 3 losses, really good 3-loss teams. There's probably some teams that are just out here that should be getting in. Alabama would be one of those ones that's really close to getting in. And they're mostly SEC schools, but that's mainly because all they've done is beat up on each other. But a 3-loss team should not get into the playoffs. I don't believe that's going to happen. You're going to see some shakeup over the next couple of weeks, and some of these are going to fall out. But right now, these are the 12 that I think that are going to get in. So, again, it's going to be Oregon, Ohio State, and Penn State from the Big Ten, Miami and SMU from the ACC, Arizona State and Iowa State from the Big 12, Texas, Georgia, and Tennessee from the SEC. Notre Dame's an independent and are benefiting from their schedule getting in, but they are beating the people that are put in front of them. And then Boise State is the best of the rest of 5 champions. So I think these are the ones that are going to be most likely to get in here in the next few weeks as we see this happen. But it should be for a very exciting next few weeks of college football to figure out who is going to be the national champion come early January. So I have my thoughts. I'm sure all the other guys this week have their thoughts. Maybe we'll get into it in the show. So if you want to hear more about this, tune into the Coach's Box, Call It Like We See a podcast. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, X, Twitch, all those places. And we are on TikTok as well. So find us in all those places, like, subscribe, and share. And we will see you next week.